At this point, we are now going to see the second step of control that I made in this process, which is the first translation of the produced text without any intervention or correction by a human or a human person, by an expert. So in this case, we are going to see the problems produced, and we can say before that in general, the translation is good. The produced translation is good. In many cases, it is a domesticating translation. In other cases, it is a bit literal and needs revision and improvement. And is in still other cases, it is incorrect for various reasons. The problems and error, we can organize them also in in categories, and I will explain these categories, and I will show for you some examples of these categories, again from the same program that we have seen before, which is the episode on the philosopher Ibn al-Haytham, produced by the Qatar Radio. Now, to do this, we need to go from the Arabic version to the Italian version, because we produced it in Italian translation. So directly, the program will give me the Italian translation produced for the revised program, a revised Arabic text, not the original source, but the revised version. As I mentioned, we have directly the program produces two versions. And to help also you to understand the errors, we can also ask the program to display the source. So he will display the Arabic version that is translated into Italian. Now, the problems. The first problem, it is a consequence for the incorrect transcription of the original Arabic text. So if we have an orthographical error, for example, in the Arabic text, this orthographical error will be translated in a wrong way by the program in the translation. Now you can see the Arabic text and the translation, and we can now see directly some examples of this category. I have explained for you how the program changed a verb because what was not clear for him. So changing the verb into one another verb means that we have a problem in the translation, because the program translates the new verb changed in the Arabic version, as we have here in this example. And in this example, changing the meaning of the verb means that also I'm going to change the whole sentence and the meaning of the whole sentence, the meaning of the content of the whole sentence. The same problem can be seen in subtitle 104. Again, as I explained for you here, the program changed a verb into a substantive. So here we have a substantive, but in the original had to be a verb. And here we have, again, the translation of this substantive and being not a verb and being a wrong substantive, which has nothing to do also with the meaning of the verb, of the original verb. We have here again a problem in the translation, which is not related just for this sentence, because if we this sentence is related to the rest of the discourse of speaker number 4 in this case. So we have a problem in the translation of at least in 2-3 sentences because of this change of the verb. So if we go now to subtitle 258. So here we have a problem in the translation because an orthographical problem here in the word, and it's also had its consequences in the translation. So again, if we have a problem in the transcription for various reasons of the transcription, morphology, orthography, non-recognizing a verb or changing a verb into one another, or non-recognizing the direct from the indirect discourse, or when the direct discourse stops and indirect discourse begins. So we have, as consequences, we have a problem in the translation itself. One another category in the translation can be in the punctuation. Having wrong punctuation means that also the translation will have problems. Let's say it in this way: the majority of the problems in the translation is caused of this by this error. And I will give some examples of this category. So 25, 27, here we have a problem in the punctuation because we need to put not point here, but virgula. And having these problems in the Arabic text, the produced translation is wrong. It's not just we have problems in the punctuation in the translation, but the meaning of the sense of the translated passage is not the same thing that the Arabic text wanted to say. Again, here we have all these as one sentence, but here we have a point because the speaker stopped. So if the speaker stopped, the program will put a point, but the sentence did not finished yet. So there is a problem because there is no meaning of this three words as a sentence. So the translation here also wrong, and the rest of the sentence, which is here, is also wrong because there is no sense of this sentence in Arabic because it needs the first part here. So this is also a problem when we have in interviews and the one who is speaking spontaneously and might stop to think of the reconstruction of his sentence as I'm doing now, right now. The program will consider this as the end of the sentence and will put a point, and the following word will be considered as the beginning of a new sentence. And again, here we have a problem in the translation, not just in the Arabic text. One third category of errors is related to the colloquial Arabic and the presence of colloquial terms in the produced text. And these terms are not recognized by the program as Arabic terms or as colloquial terminology, and therefore their translation is also wrong. And I will give some examples. And here we should say that the colloquial Arabic is not used a lot by the speakers, so the translation will be better. If they will use many colloquial Arabic, the translation will have many problems and many wrong passages. So this term means today. Okay, so the translation did not recognize the meaning of the colloquial term, and it was produced wrongly. So there is not just in the translation of this specific term, but in the translation of the whole sentence, because translating just one term wrongly might also create problems in the translation of the whole sentence or of the whole passage. One another example can be here in the numbers 211. For example, when the speaker here, which is an Egyptian speaker, uses a very technical term in colloquial Egyptian language, which is our uncle. In the colloquial Egyptian language, the term our uncle Ammina means the same thing in standard Arabic, does not mean my uncle in always in Egyptian language. In Egyptian language should refer also to the author I'm speaking about. So when I say like in English, our author says this and this, in Egyptian will say our uncle will say this and this. The program translates this technical term, not our author, but our uncle. So for this reason, our uncle says this and this means that the translation of the passage is also wrong. Yeah, one another category of errors in the translation should be those related to the proper name. In Arabic, the proper name has also their own meaning, not just to refer to persons or to locations. So, for example, my name is Bishara, and my name means also annunciation. What we have in our example episode is the name of the Caliph Al-Hakim bi-Amr Allah, which was a Fatimid Caliph. The word Al-Hakim should also can be translated per se as the governor, and Al-Hakim bi-Amr Allah literally means the governor in the order of God. Sometimes the program transliterates the name of the Caliph in Latin letters Al-Hakim bi-Amr Allah. However, in other cases, we don't have a transliteration of the name of the Caliph, but a translation, literal translation of the name of the Caliph. And we can see it in many cases in this episode. And when we have a literal translation, usually we have also a wrong translation and wrong in the meaning, in the sense of the passage, the translated passage. So here we have the whole name of the Caliph Al-Hakim bi-Amr Allah, which was translated literally according to the order of God of the governor. So here the continuity of the sentence was also translated wrongly because of the wrong translation of the name in a literal way and not as a proper name of the Caliph. So here are also a very clear example of this category. One another example might be the translating the terms into another way. I will explain myself saying that as in many languages, a word or a term can mean more than one thing, and for this reason can be translated in more than one way. And the program translates the same term, even if it means the same thing in Arabic, translates it in many different ways. And here, it's not a problem of coherence in that translation, but a problem of giving the exact meaning the Arabic text wanted to say. Example 1 and number 109, we have the term mustalah. The term mustalah in standard Arabic can mean a term, can mean terminology, but also can mean the customs of that period, of a specific period. In this case, it meant the customs of that period, according to the customs of that period. The program translated it as terminology, according to the terminology, which is wrong. And also the continuity of the sentence of this passage was translated in a wrong way. One another example, 137, here we have the word tajriba, which in Arabic means experience and can mean experiment in Arabic. It was translated as experience, but in our case, it's not an experience, but it's an experiment. So for this reason, also the sense of the passage or of this sentence was rendered wrong in the Italian translation. One more example, one final example. In the sentence, for example, 52, we have here the verb istafta, which means to ask an advice, which also can mean to ask illegal advice. In our case, it's simply they went to this person, to this philosopher, to ask him his advice. There is nothing to say that here in this context they asked him, they asked his legal advice. Or one another category of errors are passages that are translated in a literal way, and for this reason, the sense or the translation should be revised and should be controlled by a mother tongue expert, and also expert not just in the language but also has some knowledge in the material of the content. And one last errors should be those related to, for example, incoherency between the grammar of the Arabic language and the grammar of the, in our case, of the Italian language. And I gave some examples in the transcription that were related to the use in the Arabic language of the dual forms. And I can give you here an example of wrong translation of this dual forms in the Italian translation. So if we go to number 156, 160, 180, we have here in these three sentences the use of the dual form in the Arabic text. Here is the speaker is talking with two of his friends. He is using the verb as you see, both of you. So in the translation, so here is the verb as you see, both of you. In the translation, as you see you, just one person. And again, this means that the translation is wrong. One another case is 160 in the same passages, in the same context. The speaker is talking with his two friends, and again, these two friends, the verb was translated in singular and not in dual or in plural form. And in 180, we have again, did you both understood? The translation was, did you understand? So, or do you understand? Speaking with one person just. And one another last example should be in number 66, 67. Here we have the problem of the relative pronoun in Arabic. The rules of the relative pronoun in Arabic language are not similar to those of the Italian grammar. So in our case, for this reason, the whole passage, because of translating wrongly the relative pronoun, the whole passage was translated wrongly.